Good day everyone! Welcome back to the channel, Paano Matuto Mag-English 101. In today's video, we are going to learn how and when to use who and whom as relative pronouns. Part 2 na nga pala yung ating video, so kung hindi nyo pa napanood yung part 1, ilalagay ko na lang yung link sa description ng video na ito. Ngayon, mag-focus tayo kung paano naman ginagamit ang who and whom sa tinatawag na relative clauses. Tandaan natin yung who and whom are pronouns that refer to people. So, kapag people, binabanggit natin, ibig sabihin, gagamit tayo dyan ng who and whom. So, usually, ginagamit natin sa pagtatanong at sa tinatawag natin na relative clauses. Mag-review muna tayo. So, yung who and whom, kapag binabanggit sa pagtatanong, sabi dito, who is calling me? So, sino ang tumatawag sa akin? Sa sentence na 'to na gamit yung salitang who, tinatanong mo dito yung gumawa ng action, okay? Sino ang tumatawag sa akin? So, ibig sabihin may tao na tumatawag. Tapos yung tumatawag na yun tinatanong mo kung sino yun. Next, whom did you call? Sino ang tinawagan mo? Ibig sabihin, ikaw yung tumawag. Tapos, sino yung tagatanggap ng verb na tawag? So, kapagka gano'n ang tinatanong mo, sino yung tagatanggap ng action, whom ang gagamitin. So, gano'n din dito guys in relative clauses, kapagka nagbibigay ka ng other information tungkol dun sa noun na nabanggit sa isang sentence, kapagka subject siya, who ang gagamitin. Pero kapagka nagbibigay ka ng other information, tapos yung tinutukoy mo dun is object or tagatanggap ng kilos, whom ang gagamitin. Halimbawa, ayan, the woman who called you is my teacher. So, yung babae ay aking guro. Ngayon, magbibigay ka ng other information. Sasabihin mo, yung babae na tumawag sa iyo ay aking guro. Yun ang ibig sabihin yan. Next, the woman whom you called is my teacher. So, ikaw yung tumawag sa teacher. Tapos, sino yung tagatanggap ng kilos? Yung teacher. So, magbibigay ka ng other information sa teacher. Bukod sa binabanggit mo na yung teacher na yon ay yung babae, 'di ba? So, the woman whom you called is my teacher. So, ang babaeng tinawagan mo ay guru ko. Puwede mo naman sabihin na ang babae ay guru ko. Kaya lang nagbigay ka ng other information, ang babaeng tinawagan mo. So, the woman whom you called, gano'n 'yon. So, who versus whom as relative pronouns. Aralin natin guys, ano nga ba yung tinatawag na relative pronoun? Again, a relative pronoun connects two ideas and gives more information about the noun. Sa sentence natin, yung noun dito, the teacher, di ba? So, ano yung unang idea niya? The teacher is kind. Ibig sabihin, ang guro ay mabait. Next, second idea, the teacher helps me. Ang guro ay tinutulungan ako. So, paano mo to i-connect? So, gagamit tayo dyan ng who. Okay? So, pag kinumbay natin, the teacher who helps me is kind. So, ang guro na tumutulong sa akin ay mabait. So, ang katumbas ng who dito, pagdating sa language natin na Tagalog, ay katumbas niya ay na. Ang gurong tumutulong sa akin ay mabait. Pwede mo rin sabihin na ang guro na tumutulong sa akin ay mabait. Tandaan natin, pag sinabing who, connects the two ideas and introduces more information about the noun teacher. So, yung who, nagbibigay daw siya ng other information tungkol sa noun na nabanggit sa isang sentence. Okay, kinoconnect niya yung two ideas. Next, the group of words who helps me. Okay, nandito yan who helps me ay tinatawag na relative clause. So, pag sinabing relative clause, ayan, who helps me. Guys, meron siyang subject. Ang pinaka-subject dito is yung who. Tapos ito yung verb. Ito naman yung me, yan yung object. So, magbigay pa tayo guys ng other examples. So, nabanggit ko na to guys yung who is used for people, who is used as a subject in the relative clause. Paano siya naging subject? So, let's look at examples. Halimbawa guys, the man is my neighbor. Ayan yung unang idea. Tapos ano pang masasabi dun sa lalaki? The man fix my computer. So, pag pinag-combine natin, the man who fix my computer is my neighbor. So, ang lalaking nagayos ng aking computer ay kapitbahay ko. Yan ang ibig sabihin niyan. So, ang tanong, magtatanong tayo para di kayo malito ha. Who fixed the computer? Sino ang gumawa or nagayos ng computer? Ang sagot ay the man. Okay, ayan o, the man. Yung bago mag-who, ang sagot ay man. Okay? So, tandaan natin, sabi niya dito, so, who is the subject? Okay? Pagdating sa relative clause, tandaan natin, meron din siyang subject, verb, at saka object. So, dito, yung who, nag-function siya as a subject. Okay? So, yung who, subject yan. Tapos, yung fix, yan yung verb. Then, may computer, yan yung pinaka-object. Okay? So, who is the subject of the relative clause? So, pagka subject yung who sa isang relative clause, ibig sabihin hindi natin pwedeng alisin yung who. That means we cannot remove it. Halimbawa, pag pinag-combine mo tong dalawa na to, sinabi mo, the man fixed my computer is my neighbor. So, mali yan. Bakit? Kasi yung who nga subject siya, so dapat nandito siya. Okay? Hindi mo masasabi, the man fixed my computer. Sinong lalaki yun? Di ba? Sinong lalaki ang binabanggit mo? Halimbawa, ang daming lalaki. Okay? Sinasabi mo na yung lalaki, kapitbahay mo, ang daming ang lalaki. So, magbibigay ka ng other information tungkol dun sa kapitbahay mo. Yung lalaki na nagayos or nag-pick ng aking computer is my neighbor. Unang idea, she has a friend. Second idea, the friend lives in Manila. So, guys, tingnan natin dito ha. Pag pinag-combine natin, she has a friend who lives in Manila. Tandaan natin, yung who lives in Manila, yan yung pinaka-relative clause natin. Tapos, yung relative clause natin, ang tinutukoy mo dito is yung friend. Okay? Sino ba yung nakatira sa Manila? Sabi, who lives in Manila? The friend. Ayan siya. Okay? So, again, yung who dito na, nabanggit, ay nagpa-function na sa subject ng relative clause. Kapag kaganyan, we cannot remove it. Halimbawa, she has a friend lives in Manila. So, kung marami siyang mga kaibigan, tapos sasabihin mo na meron siyang kaibigan nakatira sa Manila. So, walang salitang na. 'Di ba sa atin? Pag sinabi mong meron siyang kaibigan nakatira sa Manila, dapat meron siyang salitang na. Meron siyang kaibigang nakatira sa Manila or meron siyang kaibigan na nakatira sa Manila. So, dito guys, hindi pwedeng wala yung who, kasi mamamali tayo diyan. Oh, sabihin natin, she has a friend who lives in Manila. Sana nagigits nyo. Oh, para hindi tayo malito ha. So, if the answer to the question is the noun before the relative clause, then who is the subject? Anong ibig sabihin niyan? Ito yung nabanggit na natin. 'Di ba dito, who fixed the computer? Ang sagot is the man. Yung man, nandito siya bago yung salitang who. Kapagka yung sagot sa tanong is nandito bago yung salitang who, ibig sabihin yung who, subject yan. And if it is the subject, you cannot remove it. Kaya kapagka subject yung who, hindi pwedeng mawala kapagka kinumbine natin. Hindi natin pwedeng tanggalin. So, para hindi tayo malito, another example. My neighbor is very kind. Next, the neighbor helped me to solve my math assignment. So, kapag kinumbay natin, the neighbor who helped me to solve my math assignment is very kind. So, magtanong tayo, who helped me to solve my math assignment? Ang sagot tayo, the neighbor helped me. So, the neighbor, nandito siya sa bago yung who. So, ibig sabihin, subject siya. So, kapag ka-subject, pagka nag-combine tayo, dapat may salitang who. Okay, hindi pwedeng tanggalin yung who. Kaya dito, the neighbor helped me to solve my math assignment is very kind. Malito. Dapat, the neighbor who helped me to solve my math assignment is very kind. So, wag tanggalin ang salitang who. So, dito na tayo sa whom. So, whom is used for people. Whom is used as an object in the relative clause. Tandaan natin pag sinabing object, siya yung tagatanggap ng action. Okay? This means someone else is doing the action. So, let's take a look at this example. Ito yung idea number 1. The woman is very kind. Tapos ang idea number 2, I met the woman yesterday. Pag kinambay natin, the woman whom I met yesterday is very kind. So, ibig sabihin, ako yung tagagawa ng kilos. Tapos ako, meron akong na-meet. Sino yung na-meet ko? Yung woman. Ngayon magtanong tayo, who met the woman? I ang sagot. Okay, I met the woman. So, yung subject is I. Ito yung verb natin, met. Tapos yung woman yan yung object. So, I is the subject. Okay? So, whom is the object naman. So, because it is the object, we can remove it. So, unlike kanina, hindi natin pwedeng tanggalin yung who. Pero dito, pwede nating tanggalin yung whom kapag pinag-combine mo yung two ideas. Halimbawa, the woman whom I met yesterday is very kind. Pwede na nating sabihin na the woman I met yesterday is very kind. So, both are correct. Pwedeng may whom, pwedeng wala. Next, the customer is my sister. Okay, yung customer, ito, sinasabi ko na yung customer na to ay kapatid kong babae. Tapos, you assisted the customer this morning. So, inassist mo yung customer ngayong umaga. Paano natin i-connect yung two ideas na to? Gagamit tayo dyan ng whom. Tandaan natin guys, yung whom, the customer whom you assisted this morning is my sister. Sinong tagagawa ng action dito? You. Tapos yung verb natin na binabanggit is assisted. Sino yung in-assist mo? Yung customer. Ngayon, yung customer na yon dahil sinasabi ko na kapatid kong babae, tapos nagbigay pa ako ng other information tungkol sa kanya, kaya gumamit tayo dyan ng whom. Kasi ang daming babae, halimbawa sa store, di ba? So, yung babae na in-assist mo ay aking kapatid. So, pag nagtanong tayo, who assisted the customer? Ang sagot ay you assisted the customer. Okay? So, you is the subject, whom is the object. So, yung whom dito ay object, at dahil sa object siya, pwede nating tanggalin. Okay, yung whom. Pag binuo natin yung two ideas na to, pwede natin sabihin na the customer whom you assisted this morning is my sister. Pangalawa, the customer you assisted this morning is my sister. So, kahit walang whom. Isandaan natin na if the answer to the question is not the noun before the relative clause and the noun receives the action, then whom is the object. Anong ibig sabihin yan? So, kapag ka nagtanong tayo, alimbawa, the man is my boss. I met the man yesterday. The man whom I met yesterday is my boss. So, magtanong tayo, who did I meet? Sino yung na-meet ko? Then, ang sagot ay, I met him. So, yung him is an object pronoun. So, we use whom. Pagdating sa whom, guys, tandaan natin, if the answer to the question is not the noun before the relative clause and the noun receives the action, then whom is the object. So, ang rule ng whom is object. Katulad ng inaral natin kanina, di ba? Who assisted the customer? Ang sagot ay, you assisted the customer. So, yung tanong natin is hindi bago yung salitang whom. Hindi katulad kanina na nagtanong tayo, yung sagot is bago yung salitang who, di ba? Ito naman, nagtanong tayo tapos yung sagot is hindi nandito, wala dito bago sa whom. Ito yung tandaan natin pagdating sa paggamit ng whom. If the answer to the question is not the noun before the relative clause and the noun receives the action, then whom is the object. Tulad dito guys, nagtanong tayo, who assisted the customer? Asan ang sagot pagkatapos na ng whom, di ba? Nandito siya. Kapag ka ang tanong daw, tapos yung sagot is wala dito, hindi mo matatagpuan bago yung salitang whom. Ibig sabihin, yung whom, nagpa-function siya as an object. Kapag ka nagpa-function as an object, you can remove it kapag ka pinag-combine mo yung two ideas. Katulad dito guys, di ba? Pinag-combine mo, pwedeng kahit hindi ka na gumamit yan ng whom. Another simple way to remember, if you can answer the question with him, her, or them, ang gagamitin natin ay whom. Related sa object yung ating tinatanong. Because him, her, them are object pronouns. So, kailan ba natin pwedeng alisin yung who or whom? Tandaan natin, the woman whom I met is kind. So, katulad ng nabanggit natin kanina, Yung whom dito ay nagfa-function siya as an object. Kaya kapagka pinag-combine mo yung two ideas, halimbawa, the woman I met is kind, pwede kahit walang whom. Pero dito guys, sa pangalawang example, mali siya. The woman lives next door is kind. So, dito guys, mamamali ka kapagka wala yung salitang who. Para matama 'to guys, dapat may salitang who. So, the woman who lives next door is kind. As you can see dito sa number 1, meron tayong two ideas. So, gagamit tayo ng who or whom para ma-combine natin itong two sentences. The doctor is famous. Pangalawa, the doctor treated me. So, paano mo i-combine to? Anong gagamitin? Who or whom? So, anong mangyayari kapag pinag-combine mo? So, itry ninyo guys, pause nyo yung video. Try ninyo yung mga sarili ninyo kung kaya ninyo i-combine to gamit yung who or whom. So, ito na yung sagot. The doctor who treated me is famous. I have a cousin. Then, pangalawang idea is, you met my cousin. So, anong gagamitin natin? Who or whom? Ang sagot ay whom. I have a cousin whom you met. Okay? Number 3, ito madali lang to. The technician stole my wallet. Tapos, sabi pa dito, they recommended the technician. So, ibig sabihin dito, sila ay may nirecommend na technician. Tapos, yung technician na yon kinuha yung wallet ko. So, ang pinaka-subject dito is they. Tapos, yung recommended, yan yung verb natin. Tapos, yung technician, sino ba yung nirecommend? Yung technician. Kaya yung technician dito, lumalabas na siya yung tagatanggap ng kilos na recommended. Kaya itong technician, siya yung object. So, malinaw na ang gagamitin natin dito ay whom. The technician whom they recommended stole my wallet. Okay? So, dito sa sentence na to, yung whom they recommended, ito yung pinaka-relative pronoun natin. Tapos, tingnan ninyo guys yung they dito, yan yung pinaka-subject ng relative pronoun. Okay? Tapos, yung recommended, yan yung verb. Yung whom, siya yung pinaka-object ng verb na recommended. Kaya, whom ang gagamitin natin dito. Before I end this lesson, magkakaroon muna tayo ng mini quiz. So, in this quick challenge, I will give you 10 sentences one by one. Your task is simple. Choose the correct word, who or whom. But here's the twist. You only have 10 seconds to think before I reveal the correct answer. Ready? Let's begin. And that's the end of our mini quiz. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share.